If you have ever been stuck in the slowest line at a grocery store, you know what Moses, no, you know a little of what Moses might have felt. 40 years of leading Israel through the wilderness was being trapped behind a customer with 20 coupons and a cart full of melons, and of course a personal chat with the cashier. And just when you think you're finally getting out, the lane closes. Moses led the people for 40 years through wilderness, disasters, rebellions, and at the end, God shows him the promised land from a mountaintop and says, "Beautiful, isn't it? But you will not enter it." Thank you very much. Now, Joshua will take it from here. It's almost as if, you trained for a marathon, ran the full distance, and just before the finish line, you are told, "Great job. Now hand the baton to someone else." It sounds harsh, but this final chapter from the book of Deuteronomy that we heard today is not a tragedy. It's a masterpiece in divine perspective. Moses is not remembered for where he didn't go, but for who he became along the way. The promised land was never just geography, it was a transformation. And God's greatest work in Moses, it wasn't leading him into Canaan. It was making him the kind of leader who could let go at the end of it. And that's the lesson that feels both rare and liberating in our age of constant achievement chasing. And blessed Michael McGivney, whose memory we honor today, understood this truth well. The eldest son of Irish immigrants in Connecticut, he left school at the age of 13 to help his family, entered seminary very young, and even paused his studies in the seminary to support his siblings after his father's death. And as a parish priest, he saw the crushing poverty faced by widows and orphans, especially among immigrant families. And he dreamed of a practical, faith-filled solution. And that dream became the Knights of Columbus, a small parish group, that began in the basement of a parish and grew into a global fraternity dedicated to charity, unity, and the protection of families. Some of Knights of Columbus members are here today. But Father McGivney never lived to see the full reach of what he began. Like Moses, he stood at the mountain edge, able to glimpse the promise, but leaving the journey for others to complete. And his legacy reminds us that the seeds we plant in faith can outlive us by centuries. Let's be honest, most of us like the Moses role as long as it comes with the Joshua ending, crossing the finish line. We want to see our prayers answered in our lifetime, our projects completed, our vision realized. But in God's economy, success isn't measured by the land you stand on. It's measured by faithfulness to the journey. Father McGivney could have, let hardship make him small. Instead, he let it enlarge his vision until it could embrace the needs of countless families. Moses could have died bitter on that mountain. Instead, Scripture tells us that he died, his eyes undimmed and his vigor unabated. Maybe that's the real promised land. Not a place where we reach, but the person we become walking with God. And today, whether we are on the mountaintop or still trudging through wilderness, we are invited to the same grace Moses and Father McGivney embraced, the grace to labor without needing to see the final harvest, to trust the one who holds both the journey and the destination. Because in the end, my dear friends, the truest victory isn't crossing the finish line. It's crossing it with a heart still open, still faithful, still saying, "Yes, Lord," even if the final gift we receive is only a glimpse of the promised land.